Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, the first thing that I have to talk about this week is the E-Fise contest and a couple updates surrounding it. The BMX Park qualifiers are now closed, so we know who qualified in all of the categories here. For pro men, we've got in first Andreev Costa, in second Marin Rantis, third, Logan Martin, fourth, Kevin Peraza, fifth, James Jones, sixth, Kieran Riley, seventh, Kenneth Tencio, and eighth, Irek Rizev. And with this, if you guys haven't heard of this at all whatsoever yet, it's a digital contest where all of the participants make a video and then it goes into the pool, and there's 50% judging and 50% fan votes that decides who moves on to the finals. In the pro women category, we have got Natalia Diem in first, then we've got Liz Surley Villegas in second, Queen Surrey Villegas in third, Nikita Dakotaroche, Hannah Roberts in fourth and fifth, Charlotte Worthington in sixth, Laurie Perez in seventh, and Minoto Oki in eighth. Then in the amateur side, because there is no amateur women, I don't think enough women entered videos to have an amateur one. I think they all got combined. But in the amateur men, we've got Mark Stanway in first, Victor, this last name in second. A lot of these names I just cannot pronounce, so they're all on the screen right now. I'm not going to disrespect these people by butchering their names. And with this, I've talked about it before, but I want to talk about it again because now we have the BMX Street category up for fan voting and judging. And I don't know how everyone else feels about this whole fan voting versus judging thing. For all of these people who qualified in park, they get to make another video, and then for the finals, it's 100% fan voting that judges this. So these guys could legitimately make a video, do one trick and say, hey guys, vote for me so that I can win this contest, and then send it out to the world and ask people to vote. And whoever puts the most work in and has the biggest fan base, aka popularity contest, is going to win this contest and win thousands and thousands of dollars. And I don't see how this is a video contest at this point. You're giving away all of this money for someone to go out and basically beg for votes every single day and try and get as many people as they can to vote for them, purely based on the fact that they asked to vote. And I would be very curious if there could be some sort of stat to see how many people vote and don't actually watch any of these videos. Like a comparison between the number of views on a video and the number of votes on a video. It would be very interesting to see that because we've got some people in here that just blew everyone else out of the water, like over 1,000 votes. And then another thing that I wanted to bring up, because if you think about all of these people who qualified in this top 8, they all have a contest style. Every single one of them. Then if we scroll down here a little bit, Eli Kravitz, I feel like this dude got completely screwed out of this because in the judging for this, he was one of the lowest placed people out of all of them. And I would really like to hear from a judge on this, why he placed so low in the judging, because his video was really, really good. He did really well, and he did tricks in his video that legitimately no one else in this contest can even do. But when you look at the top 8, you're looking at people who are all doing very similar tricks on very similar obstacles, and they're all already contest riders. And then you throw someone else like Eli Kravitz in there with a style that we just haven't seen trying to be involved with BMX Park contests, and he scores that low. And with that, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, the BMX Street category is up now. A few names that you might recognize are Dan Kruk, DeMarcus Paul, Dan Foley, and Reed Stark. That's in the pro men category. And then in the pro women category, there's only one entry so far. Her name is Michelle Sikorska. In the amateur men, there's a lot of entries. Amateur women doesn't have any entries yet. And for the next almost 2 weeks, all of these people basically just have to go out and beg for votes themselves and get everyone they can to beg for votes, or they don't have a chance whatsoever because someone else is going to do it. And I just feel like if you're gonna have a video contest, you should make it a video contest and not a competition of who can go out and gather the most votes. To me, it just really doesn't feel fair, but I guess BMX has always been a popularity contest, and with that, I am really curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this, so please let me know in the comments down below, and get on over and watch all of the street videos and vote for who you think genuinely deserves to move on into the finals and make another video and potentially win like thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm honestly just tired of talking about this right now, so let's move on to something else, and when you guys leave your comments about it, hopefully I will be rested enough on the subject to have some more conversation and move things forward, talking with you guys in the comments. But the next thing that we have to talk about this week is that Battle of Hastings 2020 has been officially and completely canceled. There's a video up on their YouTube page with Daryl now talking about this and announcing it. It's kind of a big bummer, but did anyone expect anything else? With everything going on in the world right now and all of the other big contests and events being completely canceled for this year, it feels like it was expected that this was going to happen. So I'm sorry to those of you who were holding out hope that we were going to see some sort of contest this year. No one was going to get to spectate it actually there anyways, other than the people who are directly involved. So nobody was really missing out on that, but just getting to see the contest and see everything go down and have this to experience was going to be something cool. It is a bummer that it's not happening now, but I totally understand why. And maybe that means that all of the money and resources that they would have put into this contest, if they haven't yet, could potentially go into something for next year and make it even bigger and better for everyone who hopefully gets to go. Hopefully this stuff is all over with by 2021 and we get to experience things like this again, and Swamp Fest and X Games and all of these other things that we just don't get to right now because of everything going on. But once again, I'm tired of talking about negative things, so I'm done with negatives for the rest of the video. The next thing that I have to talk about is a huge positive, and that is the X Games Real BMX videos are going to be coming out August 17th. There are two videos I am really excited to see. One of those comes from Julian Molina and Daryl Taco, and I cannot wait to see this. If you don't know who Julian is, he only has one leg, but he absolutely kills it. And people go in for these Real BMX videos, and to have someone like him get a shot at making one of these videos and go against literally Eric Elstrand, Lewis Mills, Garrett Reynolds, and Nathan Williams, you know this dude's gonna produce. He knows he has to produce. The videos are already done and people are hyped for it, and I am one of them. I am so excited to see this. I'm excited to see all of them. These are all heavy hitters. Actually, I forgot to include Simone Baracco. That's just another name in there that is a heavy hitter, superstar of BMX. So August 17th, we're going to have all of these videos to talk about. That is only in 3 days. The actual broadcast is on ABC August 22nd, and we're going to find out who won. I don't know if we're actually going to find that out before August 22nd, so maybe I'll just watch this on TV and see it. Maybe I should do another live stream reacting to these things as they come out, or maybe we can do a live stream where I react to them, watching them when they come out August 17th. I'll probably do that. Let me know if I should in the comments down below. But I am genuinely curious. Again, who are you most excited for seeing a Real BMX video for X Games this year? I am so pumped to see Eric Elstrand and Julian Molina, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out and who wins, and I'm so excited. It's just an event. It's something. We actually get something. And speaking of something, Nowhere BMX is moving forward with their Cornhusket Jam this year. They are having it. I believe they are taking precautions for everything going on the way that they are supposed to. So if you guys have absolutely nothing going on, your travel budget is freed up because you can't go to Swamp Fest or you can't go to whatever other event that was canceled, maybe you can go to Nowhere BMX's Cornhusket Jam. The flyer is on screen right here, and there's not much more to say about that, so now we can move on to the videos for this week. And the first video that I have to talk about this week is one that I feel like every single person watching this news video right now needs to watch. It feels like it's one of the most progressive street BMX videos that has come out in all of 2020, and it might be my favorite video that's come out in recent memory. And I'm not saying that lightly because Nathan Williams' Why Not video just came out last week. This is a VX rated video with Dan Paley from BSD, and it is bonkers. Every single clip in it almost is something that's just absolutely insane, all the way from the very beginning. He's doing a manual to down whip to fakie. That's the first clip, and he's doing it down a little stair set. But then a couple clips after that, he does a curved up rail to 360. Imagine that. Then I think a couple clips later, the next clip, he does an over tooth down a rail. So he's sideways hanging over the rail because he came over it. And then he drops into the ice on the other side. I don't even know which one was switch and which one was regular, but he drops into ice on the side of the rail he started on to go down it. This video is just so insane. And then there's just something about using British rap in BMX street videos that it just makes me enjoy them that much more. So that put it even over the top. So I'm just saying, if you guys like street videos, this is one for this week that you have to watch. And then the next video that I have to talk about is with Mark Mulville, and it's called COVID Summer, and it's classic Mark Mulville in here. Got all of the different Mark Mulville combos that you guys know and love that he is so good at. And this is just a completely different side of the spectrum in BMX than what we talked about previously with the VX rated video with Dan Paley. And then to throw it in a completely opposite direction from both of those things that we just talked about, we've got an Instagram compilation with Terry Adams and his flatland riding. I'm assuming he put it together himself because it's on what I'm assuming is his YouTube channel, Flatland Adams 1. I don't normally like to talk about Instagram compilations because rarely are the actual people involved with filming and riding in these videos involved, but because I'm assuming Terry put this up with that channel name and also the description that says, please enjoy some of my Instagram clips from this year, I definitely wanted to make sure I talked about it. And that just gives the broad spectrum of BMX that I always love talking about in these BMX news videos. And then we can go a completely different direction again and talk about something completely different too, in that the full length McNeil video from 2004 has been uploaded to YouTube for you guys to watch. I know that there's a lot of you guys who are going to be psyched about that, and that just kind of rounds out the well-roundedness of videos for this week that we have to talk about. And that brings us into the product-related news from this week. The first thing I have to talk about here is Brandon Began's new signature Phantom tire from Merit and the promo video that goes along with it. It's just over 2 minutes long of him riding street and then some B-roll shots of the tire itself. It was a well put together promo video, and I definitely think anyone who enjoys Brandon Began's riding will enjoy this video. Then after that, we've got a video with the Leeper Bros, Powers Bike Shop, and Profile Racing to promote their new signature Profile Hub colorway. It's a brown color, and I think that it might already be sold out. And after checking just now, he did post something saying posting this up even though all the hubs are sold out already. So there is a colorway. You probably can't get it. Maybe they'll make more in the future, but I'm psyched that the Leeper brothers have their own colorway with Profile, and it was to celebrate 10 years of them being on Profile. Psyched for those dudes, psyched on their riding, and psyched on the fact that Profile is still supporting them after 10 years. And then real quick, I've got to mention that Kink has some new 2020 colorways out on some of their frames. It is linked in the description below if you want more details on that. But moving on, we've got a couple different bike checks to talk about. Both of these have some interview stuff in them as well, so they're going right before the interview section. The first one comes from Teresa that rides for Fly, and it's a bike check on there, like I said. So if you want to hear some more from her and see what bike she's riding, you can check that out. And then there's a big one. Big boy. I didn't mean it like that. Not that he's big. Whatever. Big Boy's got a bike check up on Vital BMX where he does answer a few questions and gives the whole rundown on his bike. This is not a video bike check. It's all in words. So if you want to check that out, I have it linked in the description below, as well as everything else that I've talked about today in the order that I talk about it. Forgot to mention that up to this point. And then we can move into the interviews from this week. The first one is a favorite rider's favorite rider video from Our BMX, this time with Dan Kruk. He originally was going to pick Garrett Reynolds, but said because they already did one on Garrett Reynolds that he's picking Jeff Klugwitz. It's not a super long video, so I don't want to go super in depth and talk about and say everything he already said. So if you want to hear more about that, go and check it out. And then we had another Unclicked podcast come out this week. This one is with Dakotaroche. And for all of you guys out there, including me, I'm guilty of this too, who call him Dakotaroche. He says in this podcast that it is not pronounced Roach, and he doesn't like when people call him that. He likes Roche because that's how you pronounce it. That's what we're going to call him moving forward. And I wanted to just make sure that I said that in here because I know I'm way guilty of calling him Dakotaroche just because I didn't know, and I feel like there's a lot of other people that didn't know. So there you are. You're educated now. And there's so much other really good stuff in this podcast. He talks about his OCD a little bit and opens up about that and wants to normalize talking about these things. He says that before he even says anything about it. And I think that is super awesome. And I would love to see these types of things normalized in BMX, because when you see someone like Dakotaroche, who's huge in BMX and has been forever, he's a superhero in a lot of people's eyes, talking about these things and the things that he struggles with, it kind of humanizes him. And for some people, that humanizing and being able to relate to someone can help a lot. And I would love to see more pros talking about this thing. If we see a lot of people talking about mental health struggles and we can relate to them and see that, well, other people and even this top name pro struggles through these things, and if they can get through it, so can I. And you just never know who it can help. So I'm really hoping that more people talk about these things and it becomes normalized in BMX. And I think that's where I want to leave this BMX news video. So let me know your guys' thoughts on the whole E-Fise thing that we talked about earlier with the fan voting and judging. Let me know who you're excited to see in X Games Real BMX. And let me know what you guys think about the fact that Dakotaroche came out talking about mental health and wanting to normalize talking about mental health. And with that being said, subscribe while you're down there, and hopefully that'll mean we'll see you tomorrow for another video. I want to thank you guys all for being here and watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.